Hey guys, what's up? Inazilla back again today with another video. Today I'm going to talk about my experience with the Players Cup II Qualifiers. So if you're excited, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and enjoy the video. Let's do this. Before we hop into day 1 though, I'm going to explain the team I'm using and why. This team was created by Dave Cognetta, otherwise known as Desu VGC. The man who placed 3rd in the world in Players Cup 1. I liked how his team was built, so I wanted to try it out. Overall, I really liked the team and how it performed. So, yeah, now that the intro is done, let's hop into the video. I'll explain more of the team near the end of the video, so if you're interested in that, stick around, stay tuned. Alright, so, day 1. Oh yeah, I hope you're enjoying the background video that's playing. I'll explain more as to why I'm doing it this way when I get further into the video. Alright, so day 1. I ended up going 12-3, so 12 wins, 3 losses. Finished the day at 53rd in the world, but peaked at 36th, so that was pretty cool. Day 1 was a roller coaster, guys. I won the first game. You can see it playing in the background right now. Okay, cool. I won this game, so game 2 though. I should have won, but you know, my Joy-Con had to decide to go all whack, and when I was recording, it put my Switch into sleep mode near the end of the battle, changing my hard-earned win into a loss. From then on, I decided to stop recording. It was going only a little whack with the Joy-Con connected to the Switch, but as soon as I disconnect it and use it as like a separate controller, it keeps going to the home menu and try to disconnect me from all the battles, so from then on, I didn't record any more battles. Because when I'm recording, I put the Switch down onto a table, and I use my potato cam, like my phone, as like a, and I hold it up with a book so I can like record the, with the video so that it's not flopping around. So I disconnect my right Joy-Con and use it as a controller when I'm battling. But when I did that this time, it decided it didn't want me to win and it disconnected me from my second battle, so that was really cool. So I didn't record any more battles, and now I won't be able to record anything for the time being until I get either a new Joy-Con or fix it, so I don't know when that's gonna happen, so that's pretty cool. I don't want to make crappy content, and I don't want to lose my hard-earned wins to my Switch being stupid. But after that loss, I actually got a loss that I deserved. But legitimately this time. So, my record was 1-2, which I wasn't happy about that at all. So I just went on an absolute tear from then. From then on, I went on a 10-game winning streak. In a lot of those battles, it didn't seem like I was going to pull off the W, but I was playing out of my mind that day. Out-predicted and outplayed everyone. I felt so good about myself at that point. So now, I'm 11-2. I lost the next game, but won the next game after that. So I finished the day on a high note, ended up going 12-3. Should have been 13-2. So with that initial loss to my Joy-Con, it wasn't really a loss to a player. I could have been 13-2, but also, probably not. Why? Well, because if I didn't lose that match that I should have won, I would have got paired with different people because of how the ladder works. So who knows what my day would have looked like if I won that match. So it is what it is, I guess. But if I miss out on passing the qualifier round, I'll blame it on that. Alright, so day 2. Day 2 wasn't as good. I went 8-7. But I started the day 0-4 because I lost my first game, and in the next 3, I was like, I was just getting mad, so I went 0-4 in my first 4 games, but I ended up going 8-3 the rest of the way to make the record 8-7 for the day. But I still dropped from 53rd in the world to 490th, so that didn't feel good. Though I did start the day at 180th, so when I finished day 1, after I finished all my battles, I was 53rd. But when I started the next day, I was at 180th, and then after my 8-7 record, I dropped to 490th, if that makes any sense. It was an interesting day despite the mediocre record, though. I ended up fighting the same guy named Josu twice, and he beat me both times. Although it was because I misjudged Durant's speed in game 1, and then he just got some hack luck in game 2, but whatever. Two highlights of the day were, one, against a Porygon Z and Dusclops lead, where I led with Terrakion and Dragapult. I predicted an ally switch from the opposing side, so I used Helping Hand on Terrakion, Dynamax Dragapult turn 1, O-code it with Phantasm. This was so risky because, one, his Porygon Z could, and it did, O-code Dragapult if I predicted wrong. And then it would be a landslide loss, but no. Helping Hand Life Orb Phantasm into an ally switch, Dusclops did the job, and then Terrakion pretty much cleaned up after. Highlight 2 was the last match of the day, where it was a very slow losing situation. He made an excellent prediction of me switching in Primarina. Even at -1 attack from a previous Incineroar switch in, his Rillaboom O-code my Primarina with Grassy Glide upon switch in. It was a really nice move because my Rillaboom wouldn't have taken much damage from it, so good on him. So what he did was, I had my Rillaboom out there, and he Grassy Glided my Rillaboom slot as I switched Primarina in, so it was a really good prediction on his part. I still won the battle though, and that's why it's a highlight for me, because later on in the battle, I don't remember how I took out his Rillaboom, but he didn't have it anymore, which was very important because it would have brick-walled my Rillaboom. In most situations when Rillaboom comes out into battle, it just goes for Fake Out, which I did most of the battle for some chip damage and to try to regain some momentum. But no, this time around I Dynamaxed it and O-code his Incineroar with Max Quake, which pretty much sealed the game. Because his Incineroar being able to switch in and out with Intimidate and Parting Shot would have like wrecked my Dynamax. But instead I just O-code it with Max Quake, which was it was pretty cool. All I had left now was Excadrill and Tyranitar, and I still had Trick Room going for me and an Incineroar, albeit at low health, to switch in and drop their attacks. The game ended up going to the timer, but he had no way of knocking out my remaining Pokemon. It was such a tight, intense game, and that's why I love this competition so much. That game was it was fun. So, day 3. I started the day in 1080th place, so not looking so good anymore after that mediocre record and people passing me. So, day 3, nothing really special happened. I ended up going 9-6, which is better, so I'm happy with day 3, way better than day 2, even though it's only a difference of 1 more win, 1 less loss. Could have been better, but again, I'm happy considering the last 2 battles were against very high-ranked players, and they were both pretty quick sweeps. There's not really much else to say about this day, so let's talk about the team. Oh yeah, I ended up finishing the day at 660th place. Worldwide, I think it is, so it's pretty good. I don't know, what am I trying to say? What my record is at the time of recording, like what place I finished in, because I had to play all my games the previous night, and the competition ended Sunday at 6 o'clock, so I don't know what my record was, because I finished all my battles at Saturday night, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about the team. Alright, so this is the team right here. Terrakion, Focus Sash, Justified, Rock Slide, Close Combat, Protect, and Helping Hand. Simple EV spread of max attack and speed with a Jolly Nature, just 4 hit points into HP. A Jolly Dragapult, Clear Body Life Orb, Dragon Darts, Phantom Force, Fly, and Beat Up, with another simple EV spread, the exact same thing as Terrakion. Incineroar, with a interesting build, to say the least. Relaxed Nature, minus speed, 0 speed. You can see the EV spread here. Almost full into hit points, just enough to have an odd number. 4 EVs into attack, so whatever. 156 into defense, making it pretty bulky on the physical side. 4 EVs into special attack, just whatever. And 100 EVs into special defense, just padding its special defense stat. Flare Blitz, Burning Jealousy, Fake Out, and Parting Shot. Next up we got a Gigantamaxing Rillaboom with Miracle Seed, Grassy Surge, Grassy Glide, High Horsepower, Protect, and Fake Out. With 188 EVs into hit points, 204 into attack, making it hit pretty dang hard, 4 into defense, 44 into special defense, and 68 into speed. a Trick Rooming Porygon 2. The 28 EVs into speed did matter, so I'll explain it later when I'm going into further detail about the Pokemon. Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Recover, and Trick Room with 244 into hit points, making it again really bulky. 108 into defense with a bold nature, 44 into special attack, that's also very important, 84 into special defense, and 28 into speed. Last but not least, a Expert Belt, Torrent, Primarina with Protect, Hydro Cannon, Blizzard, and Moonblast. 204 hit points, 20 into defense, 196 into special attack, 4 into special defense, and 84 into speed. Alright, so let's go into further detail about Terrakion and Dragapult. So these two, they go hand in hand together. You can either go for a beat up strategy, so you beat up Terrakion. Beat up is a very low base power dark type move. Does I think very little damage to Terrakion. So you hit yourself 4 times because you have 4 Pokemon on your team. So beat up does. You proc Justify 4 times, giving you pretty much plus 4 attack. So you're hitting really hard. That's pretty much multiplying your attack by 3. So you do that. You can either Dynamax Terrakion or just go for a really heavy hitting Rock Slide like you saw me do in that first game in the recording. So that is what that is for. But you can also do this with Terrakion because you have Focus Sash. Go for Helping Hand into Dragapult, and you Dynamax Dragapult, and you just absolutely destroy something. You can Oko Dusclopses, you can do heavy damage, you can do max Airstreams, get yourself some speed control. Go for a max Darkness, max Wormwind, max Phantasm. It's just, these two are really good together. Because of how heavy the competition was, I wasn't able to lead with these guys reliably so much. But when I did, it was an easy landslide game for me. When I did find an opportunity to lead with these two guys. So on day 3, I did find some opportunities to do this, even against some high-ranked players. So what I did was, because most people they see Dragapult Terrakion, they think beat-up strategy. So what I did is I went for Helping Hand on Terrakion, Dynamax Dragapult instead, and destroyed them. A couple of the teams were leading with Urshifu, so what they did is they just they target Terrakion. I had Helping Hand Dragapult, go for either a max Airstream and just Oko the Urshifu, unless I had Focus Sash. Well, then they'd target Terrakion, hit it with a close combat, expecting it to die, and then it wouldn't. And now I had +1 speed on both my Pokemon, unless they had priority. Didn't matter, because they could go for Sucker Punch or Aqua Jet into Terrakion, but I'd go for Protect the next turn, and Dragapult would finish them off, and then I'd have really a Terrakion that was ready to dish out another attack, and a Dragapult was ready to drop Wormwinds or Phantasms on the other side. It was ridiculous, guys. These two were so good hand in hand. Good job, Dave Cognetta. I understand why you ranked 3rd in the world with this team. So good. I love it with leading these guys. Incineroar, this one was interesting. If there was one thing I would change about this team though, it would be honestly probably to remove Burning Jealousy with Protect. There were so many times where I thought Incineroar would be really good with Protect here. Burning Jealousy, I didn't use it that much. There was probably a couple of times where I could have utilized it better, but it didn't come in handy that much. So what Burning Jealousy does is when your opponent gets a stat boost on that turn, you use Burning Jealousy, you kind of predict it, and you burn both Pokemon on the other side. So it's only the Pokemon that get the stat boost, but if they're Dynamaxing, it's usually both Pokemon anyway. So it's interesting. If I were to redo the competition, that's the one thing I would change, to replace Burning Jealousy with Protect. Snarl isn't bad either, but I didn't really find much of an opportunity to use Snarl anyway, so yeah, I just put Protect there instead of Burning Jealousy. As for the other moves, oh, awesome. Flare Blitz did its job, Fake Out was amazing, Parting Shot got the job done when I needed it to. It was just really good. Relaxed Nature with no IVs into speed. It's necessary for underspeeding things in Trick Room. So I use this thing a lot when I was leading with Porygon 2. Either Porygon 2 or Rillaboom was the best Trick Room leads of Porygon 2, honestly. Primarine I used a few times too with the lead, but not as often as Incineroar or Rillaboom. Now this Rillaboom was very cool. Protect, Fake Out, High Horsepower, and Grassy Glide. When I was initially testing the team before the competition began, I thought I might replace High Horsepower with U-Turn. I'm glad I didn't, or even put Taunt on the team to prevent other Trick Rooms, but with Porygon 2 having Trick Room wasn't the worst because I could just predict Trick Room and go for Trick Room myself if I felt like I needed to not have Trick Room up. So Porygon 2 was pretty much a taunter in itself in that aspect. But yeah, this Rillaboom was awesome because most people don't expect it to have high horsepower because Rillabooms don't generally carry ground moves. Like I saw some with U-Turn, I saw some with Superpower, I saw some with knockoffs. But this high horsepower came in handy, especially in that one battle I was talking about earlier where I was able to knock out that Incineroar. With any of those other moves, I wouldn't have been able to do that, and that wouldn't have resulted in a win for me. So I'm really glad I had high horsepower on this thing. That, and it helped me handle a Colossal or two during the tournament as well. So it was really fun. Yeah. Porygon 2 with Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Recover, and Trick Room. I honestly don't know what the 28 EVs into speed help it outspeed. I should have looked into it, but I didn't. But it is it was necessary, probably to just like outspeed base 660, other base 60 Pokemon, maybe base 61, 62 Pokemon. It was necessary though. So when you don't outspeed though, that's when you go for Trick Room, and you hope you get the download boost. So what download does, upon switching, your attack or special attack is raised by one stage dependent on the foe's weaker defense. A lot of the time I ended up getting an attack boost, which wasn't very useful, but when I did get that special attack boost, it came in clutch, and I was able to Dynamax Porygon a few times, and just like smash stuff. It was really awesome. I did, on one hand, end up Dynamaxing Incineroar once the whole time, and it was in that match that got messed up, where I lost because my Joy-Con disconnected me. So that was the one time I Dynamaxed Incineroar. So I ended up Dynamaxing all 6 of these Pokemon. It's pretty cool to have a team where you can Dynamax all 6 Pokemon. That's why I like Dynamax so much more than Mega Evolution, because any Pokemon can do it. It adds a degree of unpredictability to the game, thus enhancing the competitive side to it, and it's just so much more fun and unpredictable and competitive, in my opinion. If any Pokemon can do anything, it's just, yeah. That's why I love Gen 8 competitive Pokemon so much. But yeah, Porygon 2, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, just basic Bolt Beam coverage. If you get the +1 attack boost from download, your special attack goes from 131 to like, what's half of that plus 131? Some ridiculous number, I don't want to do the math right now. It's like 75 more, so, or something like that. No, I don't know. I can't do the math right now. But yeah, if it gets that +1 special attack boost, it OHKOs so many Pokemon. You can OHKO Dragapult, you can OHKO like Rillabooms with Ice Beam. It's just a really good time if you get the correct download boost. If though, a lot of the time I didn't, and there was a few matches I could have won too if I got the correct boost, but I didn't. So yeah, that's kind of the role with Porygon 2. It was a very clutch Pokemon, even if it didn't get the boost though, because it could set Trick Room, it could stall out Dynamaxes with Recover. It was just a really good Pokemon. Last but not least is this very interesting Primarina with this very interesting EV spread, just like making it pretty bulky on special and physical side with that heavy investment into hit points. It's still lackluster on the physical defensive side, but the 20 EVs is probably for something. I don't know, Dave Cognetta could probably explain it better than me. 4 EVs into special defense just because whatever. 84 into speed just to outspeed other things. And then 196 into special attack to make it hit really hard. I ended up using Hydro Cannon once. This is the situation where I might change Hydro Cannon into Sparkling Aria. I'm not a big fan of Sparkling Aria because its effect removes burn from the other side, but this team wasn't really reliant on inflicting burns, so Sparkling Aria would be not bad there, honestly. Hydro Cannon, I used it once to kill an Excadrill, and then my opponent forfeited because all I had left was a T-Tar, and I had like some other thing that countered it anyway. So Primarina was a really good Dynamaxer. Most of the time Primarina will carry like Energy Ball to deal with other water types, but this one didn't. It protect Hydro Cannon, Blizzard, and Moonblast. Blizzard, it was, despite its bad accuracy, in doubles it wasn't that bad, honestly, because you'll most of the time you'll be hitting at least one of the Pokemon anyway. If you go for the Max Hailstorm when you're Dynamax with it, you'll be hitting 100% Blizzards, and that's heavy hitting damage on both sides, especially if they're have like Ferrothorns, because you'll be doing neutral damage to it, and you could possibly get freezes. You'll have the Hail Up because Max Hailstorm. It was necessary, and I liked it. Icy Wind is an option, but it doesn't hit nearly as hard, and I wouldn't have been able to knock out a couple of Ferrothorns throughout the competition if I had Icy Wind there. So I'm glad I had Blizzard there. Moonblast, just good stab damage, and Oko, Dragapult, and stuff. Hydro Cannon, like I said, if there was one thing I would do, I'd replace Hydro Cannon with Sparkling Aria, but that's, I don't know. That's on the same kind of level of wanting to replace Burning Jealousy with Protect. So if there was one or two things about this team I would change, probably those two things. But yeah, Protect just for like protecting and making your opponent attack you when you're setting up Trick Room with Porygon, stuff like that. But yeah, that is it for this team, guys. That is what my competition was like. So all three records together, 29 and 16, 30 and 15 with an asterisk because of that Joy-Con loss. But yeah, I think I did pretty good. I hope I qualify for the next part of the tournament. I really hope I do. Make for some more good experiences. I hope. I don't know if I want the next part of the tournament to be Series 5 or Series 6. I really enjoyed Series 5. I haven't got a huge grasp on Series 6 yet. I'm testing a team right now on Showdown. If it is Series 6, because I want to really take it seriously if I make it to the next point. But yeah, yeah. I guess that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for listening in, watching. This video, it was a whole weekend in the making, so I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.